In this movie, the last one in working with the interface in Anime Studio, we'll take a look at preferences. There's some areas we haven't covered in these pull-down menus here, and we'll deal with those specifically on assignments because they're very assignment-based. And instead of just randomly spilling out information for you to remember, I wanted to go ahead and make sure we could do it in context, so it'd be a little bit easier to keep stuck in the head. You'll find preferences under the Edit menu, right down there. And we'll select that. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that it can vastly improve your working experience with Anime Studio depending on the nature of work you have. There's certain little things that if you're a professional animator, you can go ahead and enable SMPTE timecode if that's important for you. Also, you can have bones be auto-named so you don't have to name them each time. Little things like that to speed up your workflow. The big one for me is the graphic user interface colors. That's what GUI is. There is a reset button, so anything that you do, if you wind up thinking you don't like it, you can go ahead and simply hit reset and bring that back. I like neutral grays when I work in my scenes, and so I can go ahead and select the background color. It pops up another little modal color box, and I can go ahead and drag around the color target here and get a dynamic idea of what's going on. Let me go ahead and pull that up a little bit. That looks fine to me. I'll select that. And likewise for all these other categories, you can do that. The editor colors, I'll usually leave that the same. And one thing that's important is the background color right here is actually, let me activate that so you can see. You might think that it's white, but it's not. White would be actually up here in the far left corner or the far right corner, and would have an RGB value of 255 instead of 240. May ask, well, why don't you make it white like paper? There's two reasons for that. I'll click cancel. A good reason to not make that white is that if you do any type of animation for television, bright white and televisions do not get along very well. There actually needs to be a what's called clamp on that so it doesn't get so bright that your TV goes, ah, and burns a hole in the screen because of the brightness of it. So I usually leave mine just that color. When you actually create scenes, you can create special backgrounds, so this becomes a non-issue, but just wanted to point that out. We've changed the GUI colors, but nothing has updated in the scene. To validate that or accept the colors that I've done, you simply click OK. It updates, and now we can see my timeline has been set to that. Occasionally, you may not have colors update, for example, like in palettes over here. And to get that change to take in the preferences, at least on the Mac platform, all you need to do is restart the program real quickly and everything will pop in the way you expect it. So that is a brief tour through the Anime Studio interface. We've covered the tools palettes, timeline, layers palettes, how those integrate, and some of the unique behaviors of the style palette that we'll get into in much more detail in our next section on drawing tools.